All right, guys, Keon Brown here. Hope you can hear me today. So excited to be with you tonight on NCCU Live. We've got experts from all kind of fields. I'm talking about legal minds. We're talking about people who know about theology and former staffer from the governor's office. And we got somebody who knows all about all our favorite cereals and such. All that tonight, right now on NCCU Live. All right, good evening. It is Keon Brown. I'm Keon Brown. This is NCCU Live. Today is the 14th, I believe, of October 2020. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're closely approaching almost 20 episodes, I think. I don't know the official count. Someone sent me a message. Excited about our consistency and elevating all these alumni that we see all the time. Let's jump in. Just remember that we are celebrating. Let me see. I'm getting messages. Hold on. Hold on, guys. We are celebrating 110 years of truth and service. And you guys can also follow us on Instagram at Eagles Alumni Network. Just want to make sure I'm getting a lot of messages right now. Make sure that I'm doing okay. Everybody can see me and hear me. All right, we got people viewing. Uh-oh, folks are on. Thank you guys for all your comments. People are on tonight. Let's bring in a few of our guests so I can tell you who's on tonight. Let's start out with Trish. What's up, Trish? How are you, Trish? How are you, Ray?
Hi, Keon.
Man, I haven't seen Trish in so long. Trish is the general counsel for who are you with now?
I'm with Duke Energy now.
Duke Energy Corp. How are you? What's going on? What's new?
I'm good. I feel like everything is new since I haven't talked to you really in years.
But thank you for getting in and jumping in with us tonight. Really, really excited to see you. I want to bring in Reggie, Boney as well. I'm bringing everybody so everybody can say hey to each other, and we're going to talk tonight. Oh, Reggie, you there? What's up, Reg? How are you?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Excellent. The intersection of theology and politics and government, all of that's you. You do all of that, right?
I try to.
Okay.
How you doing, Trish?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
And let's bring in Nathan Corley. Let's see, grab him in as well. There we go. Nathan Corley. How you doing? Class of 2020. I didn't tell everybody. Trish is my classmate from 2004, then law school at 07. Then we got Reggie 08, and then we got Nathan 2020. What's up, Eagles?
How you doing?
It's good.
So grateful for everybody to be on tonight. I'm doing a little different format tonight. Want to put everybody in and talk to you all at the same time. I think it's going to maximize our moment. Let's jump into a couple things. Let me see here. Let's start with voting. In our Eagles Vote 2020, we are 20 days away from our election. Wow. What do you guys think about that? Trish, what are your thoughts on 20 days until our election? Trish.
Yeah, it's fastly approaching. Early voting is starting. So I think it's just important for everyone to not take it for granted, to go ahead and have your plan in place as to where you're going to vote, have a backup plan, and just make sure that you allot enough time to make sure that your vote is counted. And it's key. You have to vote. You have to vote like your life depends on it, because it really does.
Reggie, what are your thoughts?
I completely agree with her. And I want to encourage everyone to not allow the long lines to deter you from casting your ballot. We have to make sure that our voices are being heard. We have never seen an election like this in our lifetime. And so we really need to make sure that we are encouraging people to, I know that there are going to be some hurdles, but, stand in the line, wait, make sure, you do whatever you need to do to make sure that your voice is heard.
Right.
Nathan.
I think it's definitely important that we get out to the polls and vote. I think we can't really expect change if we don't seek it ourselves. So definitely, going to vote. I feel like a lot of people my age, I don't know, some people feel like, I think it's starting to get to the point where people are feeling comfortable to go vote because they see that there's a true problem going on. So I think we're in a good place right now. I think a lot of people are geared towards voting and getting ready for it. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big news here. Let's start with this one. Fish Friday is coming up. We're throwing that. Fish Friday for homecoming. I know you guys are getting ready for virtual homecoming. So we're going to be doing the Eagle Alumni Network October 30th, 6 to 8 p.m. live. Everywhere you see this broadcast, you'll be able to see Fish Friday. It's going to be an amazing experience with music, tributes, a lot of surprises for you. We want you to be a part of it, be a part of history. All right. We want you to create a video completing the following statements. All right. My favorite moment at NCCU was, whatever. I chose NCCU because, whatever you want to say there. And it is important to vote. So we want you to finish those statements. Make it quick, 60 to 90 second max on these. We only got 2 hours. We got to fit as many people as possible. Yeah, so we're excited about Fish Friday. Nathan, you're a recent grad. You just came off of a huge homecoming, and then now you have this. How's it been experiencing NCCU in this way post-grad?
I think it's unfortunate. A lot of people in my class in particular were pretty hurt that we didn't get the chance to walk. That's an experience that everybody wants to go through, so it was unfortunate, but I feel like we made the best of it. I think that started, the virtual scene became very popular, and people started doing virtual graduations, and everybody's just trying to adapt, so yeah, it's tough. Nobody has ever experienced something of this caliber in a sense. So yeah, we're kind of taking it day by day, to be honest with you. I can't really give you a rough estimate of how it's going. I'm still experiencing it,
Yeah.
Indeed, we all are. No, you're from Charlotte, Nathan, correct?
I'm from Detroit, actually.
Detroit, Michigan. Living in Charlotte? I thought you were in Charlotte somewhere.
I'm living in Raleigh.
In Raleigh. All right. How was
Yes, sir.
Detroit for you? How'd you find NCCU? How did NCCU find you?
I actually came to North Carolina Central on a golf scholarship. I played golf for 2 years at the school. By the grace of God, it was something I was pretty naturally gifted at. Golf was never really my passion, so after 2 years, I stopped playing. Really started focusing on business and entrepreneurship, just things that I felt like could advance me as a young man out of college. So golf, to answer your question, though, is how I got to North Carolina Central. Excellent.
Thank you for that. I want to go to Charlotte. I thought I had a connection with you in Charlotte. Sorry about that. Trish.
Good.
Trish is in Charlotte. Trish lives in Charlotte.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, how about this? Vance High School. How about that? Formerly Vance High School. It used to be named after a Confederate soldier. And the news was, what will the new name be? Well, guess what? We're announcing today. It's going to be Julius Chambers High School. Julius L. Chambers High School is a new name for Vance High School. Of course, Julius L. Chambers is a former chancellor of North Carolina Central University, and of course, a civil rights legend, attorney who is just an icon, and we're so grateful to have. I wish I had my picture. It's over there. I should show it, but he was my chancellor, our chancellor, Trish, our freshman year. And then we got Dr. James Ammons. What are your thoughts? Do you remember, as an attorney, any thoughts on Julius L. Chambers, Trish?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, again, like you said, he was our chancellor. And then when I was trying to get into law school, I actually went to him and talked to him about going to law school. And I went to his office. He was in Charlotte, and I asked him to, for his advice, and he actually wrote me a letter of recommendation for law school. And so I can say nothing but good things about him, that he took his time to do that for me. And I actually, at the time, I was applying to law school at Carolina and at North Carolina Central. And of course, he went to law school at Carolina. So, I got a letter of recommendation from him. And again, it was just an extreme honor to even just talk to him, let alone have him write me a letter of recommendation. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I know you ain't playing with us either with that 40 under 40 in the background and that Ernie Barnes portrait in the back. Come on, Trish.
Well, your friend had to help set me up. So
talking about your husband, yes,
so he set all of this up. So I have to give him credit.
All right, good brother Leroy Wray. We're gonna get him on. I need him on next week. I got Sharifa and Stephanie Jackson next week. I need Leroy on.
You might need some more time if you got all of them on.
Oh man. Well, okay. Next story. Reggie, did you want to say anything about Chancellor Chambers?
I've never had the honor or the privilege of meeting him in person, but I grew up around North Carolina Central, and he was always, a figure that was well respected. And as a graduate of UNC law, he's venerated there as well. So everything I hear about and have studied about Chancellor Emeritus Chambers has just been that he was an upright, standing man who was a groundbreaking attorney and an academic as well. He was just, respect to him.
Respect, indeed. That emeritus title is legit. He was incredible, and his wife Vivian.
Yes.
An incredible couple there. Let's jump in. Thank you for that. Let's jump into the next thing. Look, I've done seen so much new Nelia for NCCU, and I got to show you this. This is trending right now, man. Last time I was on with you, we had some Crocs, Eagle Crocs. So now check out this new swag. Some slides. Come on, slides. They say these are the most comfortable things to wear, these NCCU, HBCU slides. You can check that out in our exclusive Facebook groups. There's some links to that. Come on with the Nelia. It is getting better.
Yeah.
We win a couple championships, and then they elevate everything. Ain't that right?
Yes.
Now look, here's a serious, right? I want to go into a new series we're going to start called Black School Matters. Black School Matters. So these are things that happen typically at Black schools or affecting Black schools. Now, last year, or actually earlier this year, Wells Fargo CEO apologized. Actually, this is very recently in September. He apologized for blaming lack of Black students or diversity for his hiring practices. So I do have a story here that says Wells Fargo CEO apologizes for blaming lack of diversity on a limited pool of Black talent. He sent that in a company-wide memo. And I immediately tweeted, I said, look, we're going to invite him to NCCU, send him over to the School of Business and meet all these folks that want to be in finance and banking and whatever. What are you talking about? This is ill-advised and it's crazy. Reggie, what are your thoughts?
My initial thoughts are that excuse just exposes the laziness and really the implicit bias that comes like that is just really prevalent in corporate America. To say that, there's a limited pool of talented Black people, to me just means that you just think, or he thinks, or whomever is in control of hiring, thinks that Black people are inferior. That's the bottom line. That's what I hear when I hear that statement coming from the CEO. It's more about implicit bias and really the laziness to confront that implicit bias and to correct it. Like that's initially what I hear.
Sure, and I'm going to get to Nathan on his thoughts on that in a moment. I want to also share a Forbes article that just came out that says if companies don't recruit from HBCUs, they're missing out on promising employees. And Forbes, and this is an opinion piece, and they say, here are 3 things that you got to do if you want to build a repertoire or something with HBCUs. They say, number 1, build relationships with their faculty, within the faculty. Build relationships with faculty. And then they say also, be present with the students. So this is Forbes telling companies how to get in with HBCUs. Thirdly, hire our students. And back to be present with students, you know, BMW and Boeing have particular days that they go to particular campuses. And I think that is something that NCCU needs to do. I think people, all these Pfizers and everybody that is in RTP need to have a day every year that they come to NCCU and allow an opportunity for them to recruit our students. Last thing they said was hire our students. It's okay to do internships. It's okay to give, you know, whatever opportunities, but we need them to hire our students. Nathan, we want to go to you on that, and let's segue into what you're up to now. What are your thoughts?
So I technically acquired Kellogg. So by the way, I'm a sales representative for the Kellogg company. I'm a Walmart exclusive. Really quickly, Walmart is Kellogg's biggest wholesale customer. So I'm kind of selling to the big dogs in a sense right off the rip, coming out of college. So it's challenging, but I enjoy it. But I acquired Kellogg through the Thurgood Marshall Leadership Institute, which was available through NCCU for me. And that was a great experience. So there were a lot of companies that really was looking for talent, but, you know, you could not attend the Thurgood Marshall Leadership Institute unless you were attending an HBCU. So as a young African-American, you know, that's going to make you feel, or just a young, you know, minority, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel great about that. Like, you know, like, okay, these companies are here to really seek talent only for us at the moment. Like, this is very specific to you know, us, HBCUs. So honestly, that's part of the reason why I ended up going full-time with Kellogg. I did 2 sales internships with them prior to coming on full-time. I never forgot that, you know, like, okay, like this is a company that seeks, you know, young African-American talent as well. Not just looking for, you know, other races in a sense.
Yeah. Trish, would you like to respond?
Yeah, I mean, this is really important because, you know, I work in corporate America. I've been in corporate America now for a number of years, and prior to that, I was working in 2 different law firms. And you know, this is really an important point because when you have you know, the CEO of a large company making such a statement, you know, it says a lot, and you know, this happens very often. You know, you cannot say that there is not a pool of Black talent. It just doesn't make sense. And, you know, with Wells Fargo being in Charlotte, honestly, everyone that I really know who works for Wells Fargo in a number of capacities, not only the legal department, they're all African-American. And so, you know, it's there. It's just how you define it. And if it's not in your pipeline, then that's on you. You have to go where the talent is. You can't necessarily expect the talent to come to you. And then once the talent is there, you have to build them within the pipeline. So they may not be within your line of sight, but if not, then that's a problem because they should be right in your C-suite in that pipeline. Right. So this is a really, really important point, particularly for, you know, younger people starting out in their careers, that you have to realize there are people with that mindset. So you have to work extremely hard to get visibility, so that we can start tackling, you know, some of those issues that come up. And again, I mean, even for me personally, you know, the first firm that I worked at, it was a long shot that I was actually going to ever work there because, you know, it's all about them coming to the school and recruiting and also being serious about hiring, as you said, Keon, based on that article. And so these companies have to start making the initiative to go to HBCUs where there is plenty of Black talent, and not only thinking that they're going to get their Black talent from majority institutions, because there's going to be a limited amount there. And so, I mean, I think this is really important. And, you know, it just speaks volumes when you have a CEO of a major company making such of a statement.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I say, just as someone that's involved with the university, it's also the university's job to elevate the brand of the university in a way that will make us attractive to those partners or those potential partners. Same thing with higher education institution as a pipeline to graduate school and things of that nature. We've got to make sure that we create those opportunities for our students. I think that's something that we must take a look at. Clearly, what you all are saying is completely accurate. I also want to challenge our institution to make sure that we have enough capacity to make sure that we are pushing our young people to those individuals or to those corporations and sending out invitation and going out and lobbying or whatever we got to do to make sure that Kellogg's come to our campus, or these law firms come to our campuses and create moments where people are like excited to come to NCCU. I think it's important.
Yeah, and also one more point about that, Keon, too, as alumni, when we're in these positions, it's up to us to make sure that we're the face of NCCU. And so you have to work within. And so, I try to always think about, what is my purpose? And my purpose is really to reach back, be the face of NCCU, within my own work, and so that they can see that, you have an alumni from North Carolina Central University that's doing awesome things. So we're definitely going to take a chance on another person from North Carolina Central University. And so it's up to us, once we get, our degrees and our titles, to make sure that we're reaching back to HBCU graduates, and particularly North Carolina Central University graduates.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. That's another way. It's not just financial, but it's also reaching back and creating opportunities for Eagles to come behind you. Thank you for that. I want to go back to Nathan. This is a new flavor alert. I want to talk about this. My guy. Okay. So a lot of people are going to see this right now and see that, this is an incredible moment. Tropical Punch or Tropical Fruit Loops. Can you tell us more about this particular product and where one can get this?
So honestly, I remember it was maybe 2 weeks ago. It was starting to come into the back room of some of the stores, and it was being unboxed, put on the shelf, and I was just like, wow, I just think that's great marketing. Like, the box looks great. The colors are very vibrant. And it's a good tasting cereal as well. So I'm not even just saying that because I work for the company. Like, I'm a pretty big critic on a lot of different foods and cereal, and it's quality. So I would recommend everybody to go ahead and give that a shot. But you can get it from any grocery store.
I don't know about that, brother, because I specifically look up here and I have not seen any of these. And Walmart is not allowed in the city of New York, so I'm gonna have to go all the way to Jersey to get these loops.
So technically, also, it does say limited edition on the box. There's not the same inventory for like other flavors. Like, it's actually very limited in a sense. So it's like when it hits the shelves, it's normally gone pretty fast.
So what I can do is send you my Addy, and
I'll send you a patch.
Indeed. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Incredible stuff. This is incredible stuff. I didn't get to Reggie. How did NCCU find you, Reggie?
Oh, wow. For me, NCCU has kind of always been there. So my family has been going to NCCU for a really long time. I think I have at least 6 or 7 aunts and uncles who are alums, dating back to maybe the late 60s, early 70s. And so I'm a Durham native, born and raised in Durham. So my parents met at North Carolina Central in the 80s, got married, had me. They actually got married while they were in college. And my dad would take tests while the professors were holding me and all of that. And so I was a Central baby. I grew up going to the games. I grew up saying I'm going to march for that band. I'm going to, grew up going to homecomings. So Central has just always been there. And so when it was time to go to college, it was naturally on my list of top choices of schools that I wanted to attend. So, Central is deep down in my heart. It's in my blood. And I'm trying to be open about my children and where they'll go to school. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something though. They can go anywhere they want to go. That school down the street. Pray for me. I am not there yet.
Look, so you gonna tell Skip you gonna say I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm not gonna move you in. What are you
I don't know
say?
how you go eat.
Oh man.
It's heavy in these streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trish, how did NCU find you?
Oh, wow. So I knew that I wanted to go to an HBCU. And actually, Norfolk State is like my family school. But again, I knew that I wanted to go to HBCU, but I had my heart set on going to Howard. But I'm an only child, and my mom was not having it. She was not having her 18-year-old go into school in DC. And so she was supposed to go to Fayetteville State, and she had a scholarship to go to Fayetteville State. But she met my dad and they decided to get married. So she didn't go to school at the time. So I then said, okay, well, I'll go to Fayetteville State and sort of kind of live out her dream. So I applied to Fayetteville State, got a scholarship, and also applied to North Carolina Central. And the decision was really made easily. You know, I visited, and even on the car ride, I remember there, my mind was already made up even before I got to the campus. And then once I got to the campus, it just solidified my decision. And so, you know, it's the best decision that I have ever made in my life, like a conscious choice. And I think that's the key too, for people to understand that it's a choice. You know, it's not a default. It's a choice that we make. And for most of us, we will say it's the best decision that we've ever made in our lives. And so that's kind of how NCCU found me. And again, I do not regret that decision at all.
Well, thank you. We're winding down. I'm going to go in order of deference. So that would be Trish 04 for your final thoughts. And then we'll go to Reggie, Boney, and then we'll go to Nathan. Trish, what are your final thoughts?
So no, I'm really happy. This is like, it really makes my heart really happy to see that this is happening, this alumni network. This is great work, Keon. You know, you are near and dear to my heart, to my family's heart. And so I'm just happy to be here. You know, final thoughts, you know, we have to vote. We absolutely have to vote. We stand in lines for a lot of other things. We stood in lines to get into parties when we were in college. So you can stand in that line to vote. We have to vote. This is not an option. I think about my grandmother, who was 103 when she passed away, and there was never a time where she didn't vote. And if she can vote, we all should be voting. So that's my final thought.
Thank you, Trish. You know, technically, Malik and Dame always had me VIP, so I didn't have to stand in that line.
I was about to say, I kind of skipped a lot of lines. I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely get the
that privilege. That privilege. That'll get you.
But I'm gonna stand in line if I need to vote. I get it. Reginald, Boney, your final thoughts, sir.
Yeah, don't skip the line on election day, because we don't need you getting kicked out. We need all the votes.
Oh no.
All right. I think for final votes, for final words, excuse me. I'm sick that we're not having homecoming, but I think that it is really important that this year, especially, that everyone try to donate or give something back to the university. You know, with athletics not happening this fall, that's a major hit to every college, honestly. And so if we could just budget something to give back to the university, this place that, you know, made us and grew us to be who we are. I encourage all alums to give back. You know, you can designate it to your department or, you know, to athletics or wherever, but I think that is something that we should try to do. I believe that they have a campaign going on now, the virtual homecoming campaign. For alums to participate in, and you know, hopefully we'll be able to see each other next year in person on a campus that I don't know if you all have driven by, but it looks very different. The school looks good. It looks very different.
Very different.
So those are my last thoughts.
Thank you, and Nathan, final thoughts.
So piggybacking off what he said, yeah, I just think alumni needs to give back in any way possible, even if it's a podcast or, you know, something similar to this, giving back your time. You know, just give anything that you can. I'm definitely hurt as well that we're not having homecoming. This was about to be my first homecoming as an alumni or alumni. How does it say? I don't know. A lot of people say it differently, honestly. But I'm alumni, you know, so I wanted to experience that. But hopefully next year that's something we can do. And then in terms of voting, I mean, everybody just needs to get out and vote, you know. Also, just in terms of people in undergrad, I would definitely say take advantage of all opportunities. A lot of people, you know, are scared to kind of put their best foot forward in terms of what you want to do. So if you know your passion and you know your major, you know, reach out to that company or reach out to that celebrity that you want to intern for. Like, you know, you never know. Closed mouths don't get fed. I'm a big believer in that. So yeah, just those are my last words.
Thank you for that. Piggyback off of that. Make sure you use those DMs. That's how celebrities, you know, if you want to go do something, go in a DM. Send them a flattering message. Honor them first and then make the request. Honor them and say how amazing they are, and then say, hey, I'd like to work with you. Do that. Do 50 a day and see what happens. I'm going to leave it there. I want to make sure you guys, for you guys who are alumni who are watching, go to nccualumni.org and join the NCCU Alumni Association and make a recurring gift to the university at eaglesgive.com. And like Reggie said, they are trying to sell that stadium out. Go ahead and go to nccu.edu and find out more about the stadium sellout and how we can support our university as we grow. Remember that an eagle is no common, ordinary barnyard fowl. And I'd like to thank my guests, Trish Hardy Wray, class of 04, Reginald Boney, class of 08, and Nathan Corley, class of 2020. Thank you guys for being here. Y'all take care. And until next time, we'll see you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank y'all.